everybody. Today I am going to be filming a plant tour and I'm so excited. So in the last few months I have very rapidly gotten a little jungle in here. The quarantine situation has definitely made me get more plants because they bring so much life and happiness into a room, and you know, I'm trapped in this room. So I just got a lot more plants than I need, but is that a thing? I don't think so. So want to walk you through them, and then yeah, that's it. That's the whole video. I just want to show you my plants. I keep my plants in 3 different places, 2 windowsills and back there on that shelving situation. So let's just go at them by section. So over here we have my 2 newest plants, actually. I don't know why we started here, but here we are. So this is a hanging plant, which I think looks so beautiful here. Just kind of spilling over the side of this bookshelf. It is a lipstick plant, and because it's a lipstick plant, I named it Veronica because when I was a kid, and a teen, I would read a lot of Archie comics, Betty and Veronica, and I really came to associate the name Veronica with like fashion and makeup and sassiness, and she's a lipstick plant, so I named her Veronica. This plant is really special to me. It's a ZZ plant. I will put the type of plant, the like scientific name for it, if you want to get one yourself, down in the description for every plant. But this is a ZZ plant because its name has 2 Z's in it. Okay, this is funny. I specifically knew that I wanted this kind of plant, so I went up to the lady at the plant place and I said, from like literally 10 meters away from this outdoor garden center, I was like, "Hi, do you have any ZZ plants?" And she looked so confused, and then she was like, "ZZ plants?" And I was like, "Yup. How was I to know if you were gonna use the American Z or the Z? But it's ZZ plant," I learned. This plant I bought 2 of at the exact same time, because me and my brother wanted to have like twin plants. So he has the exact same plant. His is a bit bigger. But yeah, we have the exact same plant. Super exciting because it has this really big new growth that, like, when I first got the plant, it was just in this little, I don't even know what to call it, this little nest, and now it's growing, and I can't wait to see that really expand. But this is a beautiful plant, and I got this pot at the same place. It's just like a local place where I was able to do like curbside pickup basically here in British Columbia, and it was just, I love this. It's very simple and clean, and love them. Okay, right here we have my pride and joy. This is Lentil. Lentil is my best friend. So basically what happened was, early on in the quarantine, I drove my boyfriend to Home Depot because we had to pick some things up, and I was sitting in the parking lot, not interacting with anyone, and I saw this man going towards his car with a lentil, with a fiddle leaf fig, and I was so excited because I was like, that is the most beautiful plant I have ever seen. I want one. So I literally, from across the parking lot, shouted at him. A lot of my plant stories apparently involve shouting at people, but I shouted, "Excuse me, I love your plant. What is it?" And he was like, "Oh my god, it's a fiddle leaf fig. They have them on for sale in Home Depot. He was like so excited but shouting. He was like, "It's an incredible price. They're usually double. They're right at the front." And I was like, "Thank you so much." And then I went back and sat in my car, and I waited, and my boyfriend finally came out, and you know, he's like about to take his mask off, and I was like, "Here's my credit card. I need you to go get me one of these plants. Apparently they're at the front. They're fiddle leaf figs." And he was like, "Okay." So he went, and then we came back and I had to like shove it in my car, but it made it home and it is thriving. I named it Lentil because I think that's funny, and I just love this plant. I love how big the leaves are, and usually I kind of, throughout the day, I will pull it in front of the window so that it gets a lot more light. But yeah, I love this plant. Oh, lentil's my best friend. This is my best window in this room because the deck of this house overhangs my second window, so it doesn't get as much light. So this window is where I have most of my plants, and honestly, some of the plants that you'll see on the other windowsill, I actually typically have over here too, because they'll crave the light. I can see them like turning towards the light, and I'm like, you know what, yeah. So I just cram a lot of plants into this window. Nobody talk about the shot composition because it's terrible. But right here we have my first 2 plants ever that I had. Yes, oh, I love them. So it's these 2. This is Hansel and this is Gretel. So I realized that I didn't have names for them, but I very much thought of them as siblings because, insert photo here, I had them since they were babies. I had them in the same pot, and then they both grew so much and they needed their own homes. So yes, I wanted to name them something that had like a brotherly tone. They're both succulents, and a lot of the plants that I have are succulents because I just think they're beautiful and, you know, they're easier to take care of in many ways. They're thriving. I don't know what to tell you except to say that they are thriving. This man especially, I have a lot of pride. I have a lot of pride for this plant right here. He goes off in so many directions, and this guy stands up, and he's just beautiful. He's beautiful. But also, I'm very proud of Gretel. She's tall, she's proud. She's having these little, like, new growths coming all over. I'm a little concerned about that because is she going to be strong enough to carry all of that? I don't know, but we'll just see. One fun thing about this is that I put this little thing that I think was just a tag on a pair of chopsticks that I bought in Japan. I put this around her when it was at her top. And then she grew, and now I can't take it off unless I were to cut it off, and so I'm just gonna leave it there. This other plant, wow. This right here, this is a success story if I have ever known one. So this was very similar to my lentil story in that this guy's Henry. I saw this person, this jolly man, walking out of a different hardware store, Rona. This was like months ago before the pandemic. I saw him walking out of the hardware store holding one of these plants and looking so happy. He just looked so happy. And I saw the plant and I was like, wow. I love that plant. It's so cool. I was walking past him in the parking lot and I just saw these like weird circle leaves. I thought it was beautiful. So I was like, I would totally get one of those plants. And the second I walk in, I'm like looking for any plants that they have. And they just had this one little rack of plants and they had quite a few of these. So these have a lot of different names: Chinese money plant, friendship plant, UFO plant, pancake plant, I think, because of how round the leaves are. It is a beautiful plant. I'm proud of this guy because he has just grown and grown and blossomed. I'm so proud of him. He's also now starting to have a lot of growth at the base. Very curious about how that's going to turn out because that's a lot of growth. He's going to get big, I think. I think this guy's got some really big dreams. And then the other one, I guess you can't really see on camera, is in the other corner. This is King Arthur. I named him because I thought that was a sick name. King Arthur and me have had quite an adventure together. So King Arthur was not thriving for a very long time. I think I just didn't know what he needed. A lot of the other plants, like especially these 3 plants, they've always thrived. I've never had problems with them. I water them sporadically and they've thrived. This guy, not so much. I had him for a few weeks and he was steadily declining, getting worse and worse. And he looked pretty dead. And I was like, this is a disaster. So I repotted him. I started putting him on a different water schedule and now he's so happy. He has these aerial roots, which is really interesting, but he's having all of this new growth. He looks green and juicy, and he's standing tall, which for a very long time, he was not standing tall. So I'm so happy for him. I'm so proud of him. Yes. As for my pots, I guess I should mention, this I got at Michael's. It's a tray because he was so long. I wanted to get him a tray. This came with him. This I got at Chapters, and this I got at a plant store. And it actually matches the hanging plant. So let's go up. This is just my moodiest cinematography ever because of the backlighting. But this is my first hanging plant that I got in this beautiful hanging pot that I really love. This plant, similar actually to King Arthur, struggled at first, but now is so I'm proud of her. She has so much new growth. You can see all of these little stabbies, very sharp little new leaves coming in. Oh, I can't wait to see her grow and tumble. She's gonna be so beautiful. So before the days of coronavirus, this is what this windowsill looked like, but now it actually looks like this. I have a new desk. So because of the quarantine and the pandemic, my boyfriend is working from home, and having just one desk in our room was becoming frustrating. So my dad made me this desk that we designed together. And I now have two of the plants that used to be on the other windowsill sitting on this desk. And it's really good because more plants are able to take advantage of the good window. So over on this corner, I have this little bathtub, which is the cutest thing. This bathtub, out of all of my plants, was the two plants that struggled the most. This succulent did not want life. He wanted death. This, I don't even know what this is, I just bought it because it was pretty, died. I want to say that it died. You know how like sometimes people will die for 20 minutes and then they get resuscitated? That is what happened to this plant. And this little bathtub has really taught me that if you try and try and try again, you can bring plants back to life, and you can take them from being unhappy to being really happy. You know, they're not super impressive plants, I guess. It's no lentil of hugeness, but they're beautiful, and now that I have them on my desk and I'm seeing how much they're growing and prospering. This one also has Ariel roots. I'm just seeing how much happier they are, and it brings me a lot of joy to know that I'm taking care of them well. And then on the other corner, I have this plant that I have in a mug. This is such a cute little guy. I like him a lot. His leaves are very thick, and these leaves would all turn towards the sun because I had him on the other windowsill. So that's why I moved him to this desk, and he's a lot happier over here. But yeah, we've got some new growth coming in, and yeah, I love how he looks in this mug. It's a great mug though. I didn't think a lot about it. I just picked the pretty mug and then put him in there, and now I can't use this mug. So the mug was sacrificed. Very dramatic silhouette. So over here I have these very dead and very dry flowers. I just think they're beautiful. Baby's breath. Hate the name, but they are my favorite flower, so I like having these here. Then we have this plant, which isn't mine. This is my boyfriend's plant. His name is Roland. He was given to my boyfriend by a coworker, but he brought him home during quarantine because we have to take care of him and couldn't abandon Roland. But then here we have my final, like, plant, not dead, not mine. This one is mine. And this is, of all my plants, the one that is suffering the most. He is a Buddhist pine. I named him Shoda based on one of my favorite characters from one of my favorite movies, Shoplifters. You should watch it. It's such a good movie. But this, I don't know. He's just not thriving. He definitely is not a hanging plant. I just bought both of these pots at the same time, so I put him in there, but he's not happy, and this is just, I really need to resuscitate this guy ASAP, but I need a good pot for him, I think. He's just not thrilled. Poor Shoda. I realized I forgot a plant! This little guy. This little succulent is my friend. He was not happy for a very long time. He was actually one of the bathtub plants. And I then decided, you know what, I'm gonna give him one last try. I'm gonna put him here with lentil, and he's thriving. They're best friends. I think of it as a very similar relationship to like a horse who has a donkey friend. This is the donkey to Lentil's horse. All right, well, there you have it. Those are my plants. This is me. If you have plants, definitely let me know what you've named them and how you name them. I know that some people have themes for their plant names, which is a lot of fun. And let me know which one of my plants you became most attached to. It's probably lentil. He's basically famous now. Before we go, I need to thank Skillshare so much for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey, with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people on topics including illustration, design, photography, video, freelancing, and more, including plant care. It's also incredibly affordable at less than $10 a month. I'm loving learning how to take care of my plants, and Skillshare has an original course called Happy Houseplants, Caring for Your Plants, Learning with the Sill. And lessons include potting, repotting, how to pot a cactus specifically, but also watering and troubleshooting with your plants. It's a perfect time to be learning new skills, and I think that it would be really a great time to learn about your plants. So make sure to click the link in the description because the first 1,000 people get 2 free months of premium membership. Definitely check it out. It's something I really believe in. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me and my plants, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!